We just broke the golden rule of business. Today's either gonna be an awesome day or a really, really bad one. If I never have to unload one of these things from the top shelf of a car carrier again, I'll be a very happy person. But he said, and I quote, "I'm gonna put it up top so no one can steal it." So no one can steal it, you Mopars. Let's go see what we bought. Every single time I go to the salvage auction, I just live by one very simple rule. If it looks too good to be true, it is. Just let some other idiot waste their money on it. I guess today, technically, we're the idiots.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure. Did you, hold on. Okay, so when I bought this is starting off great. I assumed this window was down. No, it's not down, it's broken. Yep, there we go. All right, so basically what happened here is I saw this beautiful 2018 manual Destroyer Gray Hellcat at the salvage auction. It was listed as having vandalism damage, and I just couldn't resist. So I bought it for a cool $37,250 plus another $2,000 in Copart fees and like $1,000 in shipping, and this is what we're left with. But hey, it's supposed to run. It's got oil in it. It even looks kind of clean. Most importantly, if I were to buy this car clean title, I don't know, $65,000, $70,000. So we got a deal as long as it's halfway decent. But for as good as this thing looks, there are definitely some issues. Number one, it's not a vandalism car, not a chance. It 100% got stolen, which is typical Mopar activities. The radio is just hanging out of the car. Whatever this is completely unplugged. There's no radio bezel on it. They cut out the rear view mirror. I haven't seen that on a stolen before. That's new. I don't know what's up with that. No. So usually on the stolen Mopars, this A-pillar will be off. The defroster vent, I guess you would call it, that's off. None of that's ripped away. This one does have both keys, which is kind of weird. Usually on stolen cars, you don't get keys. Your side though, they screwed this up. You got a vent trim on the floor. The panel that goes under the glove box, that's ripped down. The sill panel's missing. The side of the dash is even missing. So she's a little janky on the inside, but I haven't seen anything that's made me regret buying this yet. There's not a chance that this forklift is supposed to be lifting this.
It's kind of weird to see one that doesn't have like destroyed transmission on it.
Well, I gotta go there. Okay, anyway, everything I can see so far looks pretty good. There's nothing missing that's obvious, at least. That does have some exhaust modification, but otherwise looks pretty stock. The rear suspension, that's in decent shape. One thing I find extremely, extremely weird. Hold on. Wait a minute. What the fuck?
Dude.
What? Okay. I was about to drive this thing if it ran.
Wow. All of them. She's going somewhere.
Yeah, she would definitely go somewhere. I was gonna talk about how the fact that these rear tires aren't burnt off like every other Hellcat we get in here. This is slightly more concerning though. If we can just look past the loose wheels for a split second here, the green calipers, I mean, they're pretty cool, right? I know I'm picking small things now, but under the car otherwise, the engine, the transmission, it looks good. It doesn't look like there's really any leaks. It at least has an oil pan on it. It's not blown apart. The front diffuser, it has some rub marks, no big deal. The lip has some damage. Again, not a big deal. All small stuff, all much better than the stuff we usually buy from salvage auction. So again, loose wheels aside, I still don't feel like I screwed up too bad. All right, now she's not going anywhere. Back to the tires. How do you steal a Hellcat and don't do any burnouts? Engine bay checks out, bottom of the car checks out, the wheels check out, now at least. There is no reason we can't at least try to start it. We got the red key, we got the black key. What does it do if both of them are in here? I genuinely don't know. I'd only use the red key, obviously. You know what, just throw this black key in the trash. I don't need that for anything. Let's see. All right, bombs away.
Are you ready?
Okay, well, there's our radio bezel. Oh man, whoever, come on guys, you thieves got to do better than this. Not jacking up the rear tires and absolutely destroying my radio bezel. All right, so it looks like every single piece of plastic that we're missing on this car is in the trunk.
That's good, right?
Yeah, it is good. There's the rear view mirror. Still have no idea why this is off, but there's the connector that they cut. That makes no sense. If any of you guys know why a thief would do that, please tell me, because I don't know.
What if the GPS is there?
Maybe, I don't know. Oh, that's a piece of plastic. Hey, it's got the subwoofers too. All right, so this is where things can really go south here. If the engine's blown up, if something's really wrong with it, we're gonna have ourselves a $37,000 chassis. Okay. Why you gotta be like that, man?
Oh man, we finally gonna hear some wing, wing.
All it took was buying a car that already runs. We can't make anything run, but we can buy them. I didn't necessarily expect it to have a bad engine, but I didn't think it was gonna sound this good. This is one of the quieter Hellcats we've ever got in the shop. For as quiet as the engine is, the exhaust is loud.
Yeah, why doesn't the Demon sound like that?
It will one day, hopefully. This is awesome. Look, you just came out and said it sounded like trash. I didn't catch it on camera. You gotta admit.
It sounds a lot better revving than when you first started it. That cold start was just a little bit too much brass. Revving with the blower, yeah. About the same.
Is that a verbal tune? No, it can't be, right?
Okay.
I see why it was total. It's not the vandalism, it's not the theft, it's the stupid f***ing verbal tune.
What happened?
Well, this is embarrassing. She ain't got much battery. And, well, gave her a little stall. This is what you shouldn't do after you do a burnout on a public street. I also somehow forgot in the last 5 minutes that it's really low on gas, so it's possible it also just ran out of gas. Maybe it wasn't driver error. It was probably driver error.
How much you gonna charge him for it?
I've been doing service calls all day.
Get the hell out of here. Things could still change in a hurry once we start wrenching on it, but at least for now, once again, it's just going really smooth. Now, Dawn, have you ever driven a Hellcat before?
No, I felt my credit score drop the second I got
Oh, here we go. This ain't good at all.
You gave me a car with not even enough gas in it to make it back to the shop.
Now we're the rescue team.
Setting up a failure, man.
Well, this hasn't went the best on the test drive. We've had our fun, we've done Mopar things, let's go fix it. First order of business, for reasons that are probably pretty obvious, replacing the glass. I mean, it's the only thing we found wrong with the car, at least so far. I just did this not that long ago on the Demon, and I'm still not sure if I was able to get every piece of glass out. I can already hear those 3 pieces of glass we're gonna forget in here rattling around for the rest of eternity, so we're gonna give it our best shot to get all of it out. I mean, this sounds pretty good. I think I got most of it. It did take an embarrassingly long time, but hey.
It's gonna work.
You heard it. As if we weren't already getting lucky enough here, I had a spare piece of glass sitting around the shop out of another Challenger, and the window tint's almost a perfect match. What do you think?
I'm pretty sure it's the same, just this one looks dirty.
Why does it sound so crunchy putting this in?
That's what she said. No.
It's pretty well lined up. We'll have to hang it on the car and then really find out how far off I have it. did this the absolute worst possible way. How you feeling?
It's heavy.
It's heavy?
Yeah.
You've been at the gym lately.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You've been
yeah.
working out.
I'm gonna let it go.
It sounds a little crunchy, and I apologize for the beeping behind me. But it works. Let's see if it shuts. How's it look?
Pretty good.
Pretty good or really good?
Pretty good.
What do you mean? That's full. Look at that gap. Couldn't have done that any better if I actually measured it.
Looks way better than the Demon, to be honest.
All right. Now, unless we find something else wrong with this, that's really the only damage we have to fix. Now it's just reassembling the interior, and I guess going to do more burnouts. Before I treat the dash panel the same way I just treated the passenger panels and slap it in, I wanted to see what was going on behind it. There had to be something, and of course there is. This is the security module. They ripped it out by hand. You can see where it left the broken tabs right on the dashboard. This doesn't necessarily present a problem. It's not missing, it's not modified, it's just not gonna mount correctly. As for the dash screen, luckily they didn't cut anything, they didn't rob it. They did scratch it pretty heavily when they pulled the dash panel off. Now typically if something was missing most of its mounts, I'll just replace it. But given my recent struggles with Mopar security systems, I'm not in the mood to reprogram any, as I just dropped the screwdriver behind the dashboard. I'm not in the mood to reprogram anything. So I'm gonna deal with the broken mounts. We're just gonna bolt it in wherever we can. Man, that scratch on the screen pops out just below the radio bezel, but I guess with how lucky we've got so far, I'm not really in a position to complain. Now the last piece of the puzzle, the rear view mirror. Whoever cut this mirror out snipped these wires so short, but to be fair, I don't think ease of install is really their first priority. Luckily I had a scrap harness I could cut the connector off of. It has like 6 inches of wiring. It's gonna make it so much easier to wire this thing back to the car. Well, I believe that's about clock on a solid half day of work for an entire rebuild. This has all just went way too smooth. I still feel like I'm kind of missing something here, but there's really only one way we're gonna find out. This thing hangs. We gave it a run with the Tesla Model X Plaid from a 40 roll up to the 65 mile an hour speed limit, not a mile an hour higher, and it was neck and neck. He did pull me a little bit.
What about the wing noise? Do you actually like it?
The absolute best thing about a Hellcat are the noises. I gotta admit, I do find it pretty pleasing that a car that still has the auction marks, the Copart sticker on the window, and that we haven't even washed is out here hanging with $120,000 cars. You ready to give it a rip?
Probably.
Probably. Hold on, you don't sound confident at all. You're about to hop in a 700 horsepower car, and the answer is probably.
Do you think that I can handle it?
I did, but now I'm questioning it. We got gas cans, jump boxes. I was positive something was gonna go wrong. Typical Mopar guy. Right out of the lot. You couldn't even wait 3 minutes.
It wasn't me, it's just the car.
Oh yeah. One of the best things about this whole deal is there's not a single fault light on the dashboard, no check engine light, no ABS light, just the battery light because it's still running off a jump box. So, first impressions, it's not fast, right?
No, but it's fun.
It is fun. It's quick. You get in a car with 700 horsepower and you expect it to be ridiculously fast because a Corvette or even a Mustang, God forbid, is fast at 700 horsepower. This does not feel that way. This is my first time in a Hellcat. I own quite a few. I own a Demon. None of them run.
Destroyed a couple of them.
Yeah, we destroyed plenty. I haven't driven one more than just around the parking lot. I like them. I really like them. It's a cool car. This thing cleaned up so good. You almost can't tell it was in a salvage yard like a week ago.
Now you're making it official.
This is official. This is my favorite part of any rebuild. She's no longer an auction car. I know you can see the outline of the sticker on there. we're just gonna ignore that. It's a clean car. She could be on a car dealer lot right now. Lost type unknown. All right, now I'm gonna hit you guys with a typical used car dealer line. Let's talk some numbers. $39,743 is what we paid for this after all the fees involved with the auction. There was $1,000 in shipping, and then the parts didn't really cost us anything because we had them all, but let's call it $500. That's what an average person would have to pay if you didn't have a 13,000 square foot warehouse full of parts. And that gives us a grand total of
$41,243.
yes. Yeah. Thumbs up indeed, because the next cheapest 2018 manual wide-body Hellcat Challenger is $57,500. I know this one seems too good to be true, and it definitely is, but we have to be realistic about this. This could have went way worse. If we started it up and the motor was bad, there goes all of our $16,000 in savings. This time though, we freaking killed it. It's easily one of the best buys of the year. We're closing out 2023 strong, not to mention it might be the easiest rebuild we've ever done. Now we have a $40,000 Hellcat to do what do we do with it?
Don't look at me, man. I ain't buying it. The thing that I can be like,
Wing, wing. You look right at home, I'm not gonna lie.
you think so?
Absolute perfection.
45.
Guys, put it in the comments. Should Fernando buy this thing and be a Hellcat guy just like me? Well, you might have one running before I do, so I almost don't know what to do at this point. Rebuilds never go this way, as you guys are well aware. After the mess the Demon's been, I'll certainly take it. Great for my sanity, probably not the best for entertainment, but hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this build, and if you did, feel free to stick around and watch one of these other videos that's about to pop up on your screen. Until next time, guys. Stolen. The radio battles. The radio battle. Typically, if something was missing most of its mounts, I just dropped the screw. They don't know that we're cutting this up to make the Demon sound like this. Yeah, I bought this thing to cut the whole thing up for the Demon. It's ridiculous, I know. But I do have an idea for this that we'll get to at some point. It's gonna be worth it. Just trust me on this one, guys.